The Osteo Payload is a fully automated bone cell culture system. This payload investigates aspects of astronaut bone loss at the cellular level with potential terrestrial science outcomes that could provide unique insights for bone degenerative diseases like osteoporosis. This training video is intended to demonstrate the post-experiment bioreactor removal for cold stowage. The Osteo Payload has 3 internal trays. Each contains a separate bone cell experiment. As it relates to this training video, each tray has 3 main elements: the access panels, bioreactor, and shunt tube. Prior to the removal of a completed Osteo tray, the disposable glove bag is set up. In the locker, experiments may conclude at different times, which would be defined in the flight timeline. At the completion of any tray experiment, the full payload is powered down and a single tray is removed. If other trays have experiments that are still ongoing, the payload is powered up when you close the locker door. Place tray inside the disposable glove bag onto the Velcro pads. Tray front in first. Locate and place into the disposable glove bag the L-wrench, the Ziploc bags for the bioreactor cold stowage, and the Kim wipes cleanup kit. Finally, seal the disposable glove bag opening. Remove access panel 1 and access panel 2. Place the access panels onto the tray lid using the Velcro fixation points. Use the L-wrench to remove the restraining plate. Now remove the foam cap. Close sample waste bag slide clamp. The bioreactors can now be removed. Start with the middle bioreactor. This has the blue tape markers on the tubing ends. First, disconnect the blue labeled bioreactor connector through access panel 1 by twisting the blue connector located near the waste bag. All bioreactor connectors automatically shut fluids off when disconnected. There may be a droplet of fluid on the connector tips, which can be wiped up with the Kim wipes in the cleanup kit. Lift the bioreactor up and pull the tubing gently to expose the other connector. Disconnect the final connection by twisting the blue connector. Pull the bioreactor free of the tray. Connect both bioreactor tubing ends to each other to close the fluid path loop. Place the bioreactor into the Ziploc bag. Note that each requires 2 Ziploc bags. Retrieve one of the shunt tubes located beside the bioreactor chamber. All 3 are identical. Connect the shunt tube ends to the open ends of the fluid pathway. This will serve to close the fluid pathway again. This process is repeated for all 3 bioreactors. The 2 bioreactors, green and red, for less than -20 C stowage, and 1 bioreactor for refrigeration at 4 C. Use the L-wrench to reinstall the restraining plate. Tighten all screws to finger tightness. Replace foam cap. Push each access panel flush to the top surface of the tray. Visually check that both access panel O-rings are making contact with the clear lid surface. This confirms the tray containment is in place. The tray and bioreactors can now be removed from the disposable glove bag. The bioreactors are taken to the respective cold stowage locations, and the tray is reinstalled into the Osteo payload. Power down the payload. Open the Osteo door and install the tray into the vacant slot. Push the tray in until the tray reaches the rear of the locker. A solid stop will be felt as it bottoms out in the channel. Note that the tray side sliders engage first on the left-hand side. If there are still tray experiments active, the payload is powered up. When all 3 trays are completed, the Osteo 4 payload is powered down until returned to the ground. This concludes the overview of the Osteo 4 bioreactor removal process. The Osteo 4 team would like to thank you for your time and efforts.